stand up straight.
Yeah, let me know when you grab it.
I got it.
Okay. All right. Okay. You go ahead, Ms. Wright.
Okay, good evening. Tonight, we will swear in our newly elected board member. First, we will have Jesse Gomez being sworn in by Notary Public for the state of Indiana and his sister-in-law, Margaret Gomez.
Repeat after me. I
I, Jesse Gomez,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the State of Indiana.
and the State of Indiana.
I will faithfully execute the duties of my office
I will faithfully execute the duties of my office
as a member of the governing body
as a member of the governing body
for the school city of East Chicago.
for the school city of East Chicago.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I don't know if they're gonna do the pledge or
We
not.
are going to do the pledge.
Ms. Wright.
Next, we will have Vanessa Hernandez Orange being sworn in by the Honorable Judge of East Chicago Courts, Sonia Morris.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to say good evening to the superintendent and to the school board trustees, to the students, teachers, and all the citizens of East Chicago, and especially to the elected school board trustee, Vanessa Hernandez Orange. Now, if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Vanessa Hernandez Orange,
I, Vanessa Hernandez Orange,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Indiana
and the state of Indiana
and the laws and ordinances of the school board of the city of East Chicago,
and the law and ordinances of the school board of the city of East Chicago,
and that I will faithfully and honestly discharge my duties
and I will faithfully and honestly discharge my duty
as trustee of the school board of the city of East Chicago
as trustee of the school board of the city of East Chicago
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. Now we'll have the meeting. Our attorney will now preside over the meeting until the actual officers portion are done. So Jewel, would you like to open it, or do you want me to open our?
If you can open it and then I'll take it from there.
Okay, today is January 4th, 2021, the regular session of the school board trustees of the school city of East Chicago. The time is now 6:08 p.m. Thank you to Ms. Margaret Gomez and to the Honorable Judge Sonia Morris for doing us the favor and swearing myself as well as Jesse in. Very much appreciated. The place of our meeting is at the School City of East Chicago Administration Building, 1401 East 144th Street. We are also via live stream, and we also have people waiting in our Zoom for public comment if they get on in enough time. We'll now have the meeting called to order. Ms. Cass, please.
Trustee Rodriguez,
Here.
Trustee Gomez,
Present.
Trustee
Present.
Williams,
Present.
Trustee Smith,
Present.
Chairman Hernandez Orange.
Present. Next, we will go to the Pledge of Allegiance. If we could please stand.
In the video.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for the organization of the board, I will ask our attorney, Mr. Harris, to take over the process.
All right. At the first regularly scheduled meeting of the board, it's required that we conduct a reorganization and have an election of officers. Prior to the start of the regularly scheduled meeting, we actually held the oath of the newly elected board members. Obviously, that information will need to be signed off on by the two individuals who administered the oath. And that needs to be placed on file, not only with the board itself, but obviously it needs to be made an official record at the clerk's office as well. That would be agenda item 1. For agenda item 2 through 3, it's the election of the actual board officers. We'll start with the office of the board president. I would request a motion for a nomination of the position of president of the board.
Mr. Harris, I would like to make a recommendation for Mrs. Orange Hernandez to continue as the school board president.
All right, Trustee Williams makes a motion for nomination of Trustee Hernandez Orange as president of the board. Is there a second?
Second.
I don't know who came first with that second. Trustee Gomez?
Yes.
All right, Trustee Gomez seconds. Any discussion? I guess the first would be Trustee Hernandez Orange. Obviously, there's a nomination for you on the floor as president. Is that a nomination that you would accept?
Yes, I do, and I thank you all for that.
Okay. I asked that obviously because it makes the voting process a little cleaner.
Yeah.
If you didn't want the nomination, it would make things kind of messy. So that's why I asked that. Is there any other discussion? If there's
I'd
no,
like to close, I'm sorry, I would like to close the nominations for president.
okay. So what we can do, you don't necessarily have to close the nominations. I'm not asking right now for any other nominations. The way I intended on conducting this one is we would take a vote on the motion that's actually on the floor that has been seconded. If for some reason it would fail, then we would still need it to be open so that someone else can make a nomination. Trustee Gomez, I do know the process you're talking about where you just have it open and you see what nominations are made and go from there. I think it's a little cleaner if we do it in the motion form, because
Sure.
if it fails, then it's still open. Someone else can make a motion to nominate and we go from there.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep, no problem. If there is no more discussion, Rhonda, roll call, please.
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
Trustee Gomez,
Attorney Harris, is this a motion by name or by yes, no?
This is just yes, no.
Yes, okay, my vote is yes.
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Trustee Hernandez Orange. Do you-
Yeah, yes.
With that being said, the ayes have it, and Chairman Hernandez Orange will remain president of the board for the 2021 year. With that, I'll hand it back over to her to chair the meeting.
Thank you. And thank you, trustees, for entrusting me in this job. Next, we'll have the nominations for the election or for the board vice president. Is there a motion for a nomination? I nominate Trustee Smith.
Thank you.
I would
I'll second
second that
the
motion.
So the motion was made by myself, and seconding the motion would be Trustee Williams. Once again, we will have a roll call. Rhonda, please, or a discussion, I'm sorry. Any discussion or any more nominations?
Yes, I do have one question to Mr. Harris.
Yes.
And I guess, I don't know, if maybe it's different from other schools or other bylaws, but can a president make a motion?
For purposes of nominations, yes. For other substantive motions, you're right. That typically would not happen. But for nominations, we're doing this with the motion process in lieu of just keeping it open with nominations. So we've kind of got a hybrid approach going. But yes, that's a good question. And yes, you could for this purpose only.
Any other questions or other
Um,
nominations?
I do
Yes,
have a
Trustee.
question for Attorney Harris. This is after the fact, but and it's been a while since I read the bylaws of the school city. Technically, wasn't Chairman Hernandez Orange supposed to open up the meeting? Because I believe the bylaws read that the presiding officer of the preceding board would conduct this meeting.
Yeah, I think it could happen either way. For other boards I represent, I typically start it out just so it's clear that the person who was the prior president doesn't necessarily have to remain the president that upcoming year. And it gives more of an appearance of a fresh start, transparency of the process of electing new officers, and a clear indication to all the board members that, hey, there could be very shortly a new chair of the meeting, following the beginning of that first meeting of the year. But I could take a look at the bylaws just to make sure going forward, we don't have any confusion and the bylaws reflect the way you guys actually want to do it.
And which, if your question was if I actually opened the meeting, I did open the meeting, and then we went into the actual roll call and then the Pledge of Allegiance. Then I gave the floor to our attorney to start the process of the elections, just because I didn't want to be the person asking for nominations, to be just, like he said, more transparent. He'd be the one to do it.
Yeah, she's still called to order.
Yeah, I understand that, but I believe the bylaws are specific. So if you could take a look at that, I'd appreciate it. If we need to change the bylaws, I prefer that we comply with the bylaws that we have in place.
I will, but just for clarity, technically she did open the meeting and called it to
I
order.
understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, but I will take a look.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Ms. Cass, roll call, please.
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
Trustee Gomez,
Yes.
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez Orange.
Yes. The next item that we have will be opening nominations for, I'm sorry. Trustee Smith, congratulations. You have received the votes for the vice president position.
Thank you. And thank you all for entrusting that position to me. Thank you.
Next, we'll move to the nominations for the school board secretary position. Are there any nominations? Go ahead, Trustee Smith.
I make a nomination for Antoine. Trustee Antoine.
And I will second that motion. Any other nominations and or questions?
Excuse me, before we go, sorry.
Go ahead, Trustee Gomez.
Thank you. Just procedurally, I believe we should, again, I want to refer back to Attorney Harris. I believe our bylaws state that we need to confirm that the nominee will accept the nomination.
Yeah, during discussion, I think we should do that. Yep, just like we did with Trustee Hernandez Orange.
Okay.
Obviously, we don't want to hold a vote of the trustees for someone who doesn't want the position. So you're right.
Thank you.
Yes.
My apologies. Trustee Williams, would you accept the nomination?
I would be honored to. Thank you.
Any other questions? Rhonda, can you please have the vote, roll call for vote?
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
Trustee Gomez,
Yes.
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez Orange.
Yes. The next item that we have on our agenda is the appointment of our school district treasurer, who is our CFO. Attorney Harris, can you please give us a background?
Yes, Indiana law requires that at the first meeting of the Board of Trustees that you name an individual who's authorized to serve as the treasurer for the school corporation. Obviously, that person It has been, it should be your chief financial officer. I see Ms. Simmons logged on. Basically, what we need is a motion made, need it seconded, and we need approval of the board to appoint her as the treasurer for the school district.
Thank you. What is the pleasure of the board?
I will make the motion to appoint or
That's
have
right.
Mrs. Leila Simmons. Do we make a motion for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Trustee Williams makes a motion for approval.
Second,
Trustee Gomez seconds the motion. Any questions? Ms. Cass, roll call, please.
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
Trustee Gomez,
yes.
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez Orange.
Yes. Item number 6, appointment of legal counsel. Once again, Mr. Harris.
So this is very similar to the authorization that's required for the treasurer of the school district. Appointment of legal counsel isn't an approval of a contract. Instead, it's just authorizing someone who can act on your behalf in a legal capacity for 2021. Obviously, it's contingent upon there being a contract as well. My contract and the contract of Harris Law Firm with the school corporation is ongoing and current right now. So that's not the issue. The only issue is authorizing someone, which would be me, to serve in a legal capacity for the school corporation.
What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam
Madam
President,
President, I make a motion.
Trustee Williams makes a motion for approval.
I'll second that motion.
Trustee Rodriguez seconds the motion. Are there any questions? Ms. Cass, please roll call.
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
Trustee Gomez,
I'm sorry, this should have come up in discussion, but Attorney Harris, this is a motion to approve you as legal counsel individually, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Me
Yes.
individually, yes.
thank you.
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez Orange.
Yes. The next item we have is our superintendent's remarks.
Excuse me 1 second.
Once again, good evening. As we are moving into the second semester, I want to be clear that we are constantly looking at our data to determine our return to learn plan. So please bear with us. We will be making a decision next Monday to determine whether students will return to school or not. If we decide that students are able to return to the buildings, we will be giving parents an option to either recommit to e-learning or traditional learning. Once again, we want our students back in school. We're asking the community to practice social distancing, wash your hands, and wear a mask. So please make sure that you visit our website regularly, and it will be updated.
Thank you. Next, we'll have any trustee remarks.
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Thank you, Chairman Hernandez Orange. I want to first congratulate you with your re-election and your new commitment to the board for the next 4 years, along with the new trustee, Mr. Gomez. Welcome to the school board. This is a new year, 2021. We know 2021 posed quite a few issues and problems for us, but I look forward with 2021 being a much better year and a greater year for School City of East Chicago.
Thank you. Any other trustee remarks?
Madam President,
Trustee Rodriguez?
again, I want to congratulate you and Jesse again for being on the board again for the next 4 years. It kind of cool what Mr. Williams stated. And I think 2021, given the team that we have here, 2021 is definitely going to be a good year for us. I'll keep praying for that.
Thank you. Any other trustee remarks?
Madam President,
Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Smith.
Glad to have you guys on board. 2020 was a year to remember, but from all of the things that we've learned from 2020, let's take them over to 2021 with respect, with dignity, and our children first. That's the main goal, and to make our district what we know our district can be. And I appreciate all of the hard work that we put in. It was difficult. Every day things change. And before the end of 2021, things might change again. So I'm just saying, we all must work together as a team to make this district what we know it can be. Thank you.
Agreed. I also just want to say thank you to those who nominated myself and our other trustees to the positions that we are in. Thank you to the community who sees that, you know, we give to our students and we keep them first. You know, I think as all of us school board members, our vow is to always do what's in the best interest of our students. And I know personally, I will continue to vow to do that. And my team, our team, we will do the best that we can. It's not, I was talking to Coach, to Trustee Williams this morning, it's about the team. It's not about the I. So, and that includes our teachers, that includes the students, that includes the parents, that includes our CFO, it includes our superintendent, it includes the little lady around the corner who's asking questions. It's all of us. We all are part of this school district, whether we know it or not. And again, we'll continue to be transparent. We'll try to make sure to do that. We'll continue to put children first. And it's hard to make tough decisions. And I'm glad to be with a team that's going to make those tough decisions.
Madam President.
Trustee Gomez.
Thank you. I also want to pass my thanks along to both Dwayne Ransfer and Jawan Jones, who both held this seat prior to my election. I know 2020 was a very difficult year for a lot of people. And as I was at church this weekend, I recall the priest saying, talking about the Magi following the light over to find baby Jesus. They came out of the dark and into the light. And so, but they had faith and they had hope in the travels that they were making, that something better would come along. And obviously it did. And so I hope too that we continue to move out of the darkness and into the light. And I feel very good knowing each one of you individually and having worked with each one of you in some capacity in previous years. I'm really looking forward to this. I know it's going to be a huge challenge, and you're right. It's not easy to make difficult decisions, but they have to be made for the betterment of our teachers and our kids and our staff. So looking forward to this great opportunity and to a happy new year for everyone. Thank you.
Well, that's all of us. So I'm assuming we don't have any more trustee comments. The next item we have is public forum. Trustee Williams, I typed in our Zoom waiting room to see if anyone was interested to do a public comment, and no one returned with the name. So I'm not sure if anyone's interested. If you're interested in making a public comment, please type your name now so we could let you in. Is there anyone at the school? There's a, I think our Mr. Torres or Mr. Ontiveros, is there someone at the school right now with public comment? No? Okay. So next we'll move to our date and time. And now just to, for public record, we are going to start allowing people to come in to have a public comment. So what's going to happen is you would have to sign in between 6 o'clock and 6:15 into our waiting room, into our Zoom waiting room. You will sit there until we call on you to be able to have your 3 minutes. Afterwards, what we could do is Trustee Williams will call on you. And then we also put on there that you're able to send it in to our secretary, Ms. Cass. You could send it to her email. It's on our website. You also can find it on our public announcement, her email. So we could read the public comment if need be, or you could send it to my email. You could also find that on our website, or if you would like to type it in to the chat on the Zoom, you're able to. We're trying to find ways to allow community to be able to have their voice. So that's what we'll do moving forward for our public comment. The next date and time of the next meeting, Ms. Wright, I know we were in discussion. If I'm correct, we're gonna have a special meeting on the 11th, and that's more so a discussion for return to learn plan. Am I correct?
Yes,
That's
yes.
just for the vote for the return to learn plan. And then after the, Trustee Gomez, are you available? I know we haven't got your schedule for the 11th.
Yes, is that an actual meeting that we're discussing a vote?
This will be the,
I'll make a recommendation for the return to learn.
on that date.
If
Yes.
I may ask the superintendent, if we could have an exec session prior to that so that I can get up to speed on where we're at in terms of the return to learn plan.
Absolutely.
I also have asked her to send
Thank
you the return to learn plan as she had
Oh,
previously given to us, which
yeah.
you can find it on the website also, but
Right,
seeing as a return to learn plan is something, it will be considered board training for you. We usually have a work session. So maybe we could do a work session, then go into executive session.
sure. And I believe somebody's waiting.
Yeah, I
in the
just see
chat.
that.
Thank you.
Okay. Someone's waiting, but they said they can't message you. Okay. If they could, Jeremy, if they could send me the name and I could let them in. The text on Zoom is disabled. So Lupe Ramirez, I believe that's who I need to let in. Hold on one second. I only have 6 people who are in my waiting room. Are you the Galaxy Tab, Lupe or Miss Kilpatrick? Laurel. Jeremy, do you know if it's the Kilpatrick is one of them, right? But I don't know. It doesn't say on here in the waiting room there's a Kilpatrick. And we will get better at this. I promise that. This is not good. I apologize.
It does appear it's Kirkpatrick.
Correct, but there's no Kilpatrick in our waiting room. I have a blank name, a Miss Smith, a Miss Davis, a Miss Hoyle, and a Miss Beckett. That's in our waiting room. No Kilpatrick.
Excuse me.
Catherine? Is that maybe it? Jeremy? Yeah, I can't. If it is a Miss blank name, she's a blank name. Okay. I'm letting her in now. Coach Pete, Mr. Williams, you're gonna have to do 3 minutes. Attorney Harris, can you please just give the,
The disclaimer?
yes,
Yes,
please.
I will. I see the audio's connecting. I'll
Correct.
give a sec for her to fully log on. All right, it looks like she's fully connected.
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am. This is the public forum section of the meeting. The purpose of this section of the meeting is to allow the public to participate in the public meeting. While it's not a question and answer session, the staff, particularly the superintendent in this case, is listening to your comments or concerns. She'll ensure that someone responds back to you. If your question or comment is directed to the board, Ms. Cast is also on the Zoom, and we'll also make sure that any response that may be appropriate occurs. Please state your name and address when you're called upon to speak. Your comments will be limited to 3 minutes, and we would ask that you refrain from discussing any personnel matters, and please do not be abusive to any of the trustees or to the staff and superintendent.
Hello, everyone. My name is Laurel Kilpatrick. My address is 4007 Drummond Street, East Chicago, Indiana. Thank you so much for being patient with the technical issues. As you said, people definitely will all get better at this. I just put my name in. It wasn't in there before. So really quickly, I just wanted to, thank you. Really quickly, I just wanted to make a comment about the concerns of the public, the concerns of those of us who are in East Chicago, have family in East Chicago, have family who are students at the school, and the situation all around Indiana, much less the United States right now. It is so, so dangerous. And I was so happy to hear that the decision hasn't yet been made to have children go back into the school, or to have children go back into school who will then expose their families to anything that they may come into contact with, teachers, and every type of staff member. I understand that we're in a situation that we've never been in before with this pandemic, but I think that from seeing schools that have forced children, that have forced workers into their schools, and seeing, frankly, the lives that have been lost, seeing people who have gotten COVID and have suffered all types of not just symptoms of it, but after effects that'll stay with them the rest of their lives. I think this is an opportunity we have to figure out how to do this in a different way, to figure out how to do this in a safer way that has families and community people in mind, not just people directly attached to the school, but people who these people come into contact with in their communities, in the grocery stores, in the candy stores, in the convenience stores, kids who may not be in school, but some kids are, and they're playing with these kids after school. This is a life and death situation. I don't have to tell anybody that. I don't think there's anybody much left in our area that hasn't been touched by this. We could see by the statistics of Gary, East Chicago, and Hammond specifically, people are dying. People are dying. And those who aren't dying are getting it, and they're suffering life-altering conditions. So I would just say, again, I'm very glad to hear that the decision hasn't been made. I would just hope that that be taken into account, and just know that there are community folks who are here to help if we can. And I don't even know what that looks like, but in terms of being able to give support to kids who would have to do learning at home or anything like that. There are people who are willing to help, but we have to look at how this affects us. We have to look at the systemic racism that we can't get away from as a group of people who are majority power minority, not just minority, because none of us are minority, but power minority, people who are not upfront represented in these statistics. We have to know that as people of color, we suffer from this exponentially more than anybody else. That's an additional reason why we have to think about not just the people who are going to come in direct contact in schools, but the people they're going to come into contact with when they leave these schools. So I appreciate this meeting. I appreciate everybody. I know my time's up. Thank you so much, everybody. You all take care. Excellent meeting thus far. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you again. So once again, we will have a discussion, Trustee for Ms. Wright, if we could have our dates, if we could coordinate something for executive session as well as a work session. And then we'll have our special meeting on the 11th. And then our regular meeting that we have will be on the third Wednesday, which would be January 20th at 6 p.m. Can I have a motion for adjournment?
Madam President, I make a motion for adjournment.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussions? Wonderful. Ms. Cass, roll call, please.
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Gomez,
Yes.
trustee Williams,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez Orange.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Have a
Can
good
we,
one.
can we stay logged on just a few minutes?
Ms. Wright, you're gonna have to contact us afterwards.